Welcome everyone to the Monday, March 7th, 2022 public meeting of the Southampton Village Planning Board.
Do you want me to make a motion that we open the meeting?
May I please have a motion that we open the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
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 Okay. All right.
Tony, maybe the Antoinette, the record should show, I think this is the first immediate, prompt, no disagreement opening that Kat has been able to arrange with all the anarchy that she suspects. And she is a marvelous helper. And we may go off Zoom soon, but she is really good at roping us in. And if the minutes could show that, Antoinette, it would probably be awfully nice.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Kat Styler.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. You're the best. What a guy.
Okay, so moving right along, item number 1 on our agenda is an extension request for Fernandez and 41 Barnhart Street LLC. This is basically an extension request. We discussed it at the work session and we have to vote on it tonight. So I would like to make a motion that we vote to approve the extension to September 5th, 2022. Can I get a second?
I'll
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, Miss Claire, how do you vote?
Aye.
Miss Cowell, how do you vote?
Aye.
Miss Bernstein, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. McFarland, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Chair, how do you vote?
Aye. Motion passed. Moving right along. Item number 1 under subdivision, there's really no action to be taken tonight because this application is incomplete. And we're hoping to have a complete one by March 28th meeting. Same thing for the public hearing for 99 Sanford LLC. This is being adjourned to the April 4th public meeting. And we're up to site plans now. Number 1 is Town of Southampton, 51 Pond Lane. And as we've discussed, this is adjourned to April 18th. So that brings us to 71 Hill Street and site plan review.
So
Kathy,
this
do
is
you
the 71 Hill Street LLC at 71 Hill Street.
Yes.
Do you want me to give a little background?
Yeah, just a brief background and where we're at. Like,
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. So the planning board sent out a letter of coordination to involved and interested agencies under the State Environmental Quality Review Act, and that occurred on January 11th. So we needed more time. When we got to the February meeting, the 30 days that are required had not passed, so we needed to wait until March to assume lead agency. But we did get a couple of letters from different agencies, and we had one outstanding comment on the environmental assessment form. So the board can go ahead and assume lead agency tonight. And if the applicant provides a timely response, so we can have a complete record for SECRA purposes to review the potential for significant adverse impacts for the work session, I can have a Part 2 EAF prepared for discussion. And that would be at the March 28th meeting for consideration of a SECRA determination at the April meeting. But for tonight, all you need to do is adopt a resolution to assume lead agency by this board.
Okay, I just have one question. Is the applicant aware of the issues that some of the other agencies have?
This memo that we prepared, let's see, it's dated February 22nd, was circulated to the applicant, and yep.
Okay, great. So I would like to propose a resolution to assume lead agency under secret. Can I get a second?
Seconded.
Okay, you're on, Antoinette.
Okay, Chair, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Cowell, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. McFarland, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bernstein, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Claire, how do you vote?
Aye.
Great. Resolution passed. Moving along. Item number 3, Elegant Affairs, 230 Elm Street. We still have an incomplete application in front of us that we're waiting to be cleared up. I'm just want the public to know, if they're listening, that we're receiving every single letter and email that's coming in, and it's being read and put into the file for sure. I just want to make sure that that's made clear. Anybody have any questions on this one?
What are we waiting to get to do what for?
You want me to answer?
Sure.
Yeah, before we were waiting for a good blacktop survey so we could approve
Alan,
the
yeah.
plumbing. Yeah, but what do
So-
we need now?
So the planning board had requested a survey of the property because to make sure that it was accurately described, whatever is actually in existence.
Yep.
And as you know, it was described, an area was described as a patio. They did receive a survey at the building department a couple of weeks ago. I guess it was around the time that we had our last meeting. I think it was like the day after that it was sent around. But they also submitted a site plan that shows the area is blacktop. However, the areas don't seem quite right.
Okay.
It's not, they don't match. And so we need those plans to match. The other
Okay,
thing is that on the map prepared by the surveyor, it shows proposed drainage. So if they are proposing drainage, that's another component that we need to review under site plan review. And finally, they are relocating the ramp, the handicap ramp, and they have to demonstrate that that still works. Before, they were just repairing the ramp, and now they're relocating it. So we need to see the details to see how that's going to work.
thank you. That perfect. I understand fully, and I didn't realize that they hadn't been able to get a survey. So that doesn't surprise me. Thank you very much, Kathy. That's perfect.
Kathy, just a quick question that somebody has brought up, that apparently that property is 2 separate parcels.
Mhm.
And does that play into this at all? I think I've asked this question once already, but I just want to make sure I have a clear understanding.
I mean, you can do a site plan review on 2 separate properties, sure. So, I mean, that is something that shows up on the survey as being 2, that complete area shows up on the survey.
Can improvements straddle that property line for the same application?
As a composite site plan, sure. Yeah.
Okay, all right, thanks. Okay, does anybody else have any questions?
But is the idea that both sites are owned by the same corporation? The same entity owns both sites? Do we know? That they could,
I don't know that the ownership is, it might be under different ownerships, but you can have a site plan application for 2 properties that are under, I guess that they could be related entities. But I don't know that the specific, if they actually have the same, the owner is actually exactly the same.
It isn't.
I can check into that.
It isn't. The names are different, so I'm assuming legally, though, they're different owners. Okay, we don't need to get too far into that. Moving right along to item number 469, Jobs Lane Llc. This is a site plan that we discussed at our Alice is back, at our work session. And I think everybody was pretty satisfied with questions that they had at the work session. So unless there's any objections, I would like to consider that we vote on this tonight. I'd like to propose that we vote on it tonight. Is the rest of the board prepared for that?
Affirmative.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
all right. So I would like to make a motion that we approve the site plan for 69 Jobs Lane that's in front of us as is. So can I have a second?
Second.
No, second, it's a application, not a site plan, right? It's an application to make renovations.
Thank you.
It's a site.
Ms. Powell, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bernstein, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Claire, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. McFarland, how do you vote?
Aye.
Great. Thanks,
So,
everyone.
Just for housekeeping, Alex, I will send over the PDF without the draft watermark to you right after this meeting.
Okay,
And I'll be there. What time does town hall open tomorrow?
9
I mean,
o'clock,
Village Hall,
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Okay. I'll be there before lunch to sign it.
Okay, great. Yeah, either Jackie or I will be there.
Okay, great. Okay, so we need to have a discussion about, we have to have a special meeting for Heart of the Hamptons. And the proposed date is March 14th. I just wanted to make sure with at 5:30 p.m., by the way. I wanted to make sure that that's good with everybody. I'm pretty sure Kathy and Alice have already said that they're available.
Right.
And Kathy, can you just give us a 2-minute description of what our role will be in this meeting?
Sure. So the trustees recently adopted a local law that include food pantry use as a special exception in the within the village. It was not a use that had been identified previously as a use that is considered. It is a special exception use that has special criteria in order to be permitted, and the Board of Trustees has the option to give that authorization for a special exception review. This board would still need to do a site plan review, getting into the details of the actual development plan. But as far as the approval of the special exception use, that's something that the Board of Trustees elected to do with a recommendation from the Planning Board. So I will send everybody a copy of the planning study, a planning analysis that was done that evaluated what appropriate areas for a food pantry use, which right now is sort of an accessory use to churches mostly, and which is a use that is permitted throughout the village. And I don't remember offhand if it is actually by special exception or permitted out as of right. And so, but there are a certain number of criteria. This site does meet the criteria for a special exception use in the village of Southampton. So the recommendation for the planning board would be to review it from in that context. If you agree that it is achieving those special exception criteria, and just giving your and noting that. As far as the specific site plan review, you have another chance when it comes back to this board for a site plan approval.
Kathy, to that, I'll just add that the trustees have scheduled this for a special meeting on Tuesday, March 29th, which is why they've asked the planning board to schedule a public meeting for the recommendation, because our next scheduled meeting is a work session and it's only one day before that.
Thanks.
I'm just gonna, I just have a very basic question, and I'm not sure. As a board, our individual opinions on this site as an appropriate use for food pantry. Does that weigh in?
Well, you should apply the criteria.
Okay,
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. What was that? Alice, did you say, what was that?
I said you should apply the criteria for the special exception use. So, of course, in your judgment, whether it meets the criteria.
We apply the village trustees criteria, right?
They adopted criteria.
Yeah, okay, thank you. If it's
thanks for clarifying.
Tony, if it's the 14th, at that hour, I will be in an airplane landing at JFK. So I can't make that 5:30 Monday meeting. Sorry. I think it lands at 9 o'clock.
Okay. Well, because of the time sensitivity, I think we're going to proceed with the meeting on the 14th, but I will talk to you that afternoon and discuss your view. I know you won't be able to vote, but I think it would be good that your view is on record. Does that make sense?
I'll be leaving for the airport at about 3:30.
3:30. Okay. And we'll talk in the morning.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So the rest of the board is available that night, so we'll have a quorum.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Great. Minute approval. I am not prepared to approve these minutes unless Alan has seen them and can vouch.
If Anthony has sent them out, I've sent everything back that she sent. And she knows the scorecard. I think.
Yes, everything has been sent out at this point.
Okay.
I'm just double checking on his minutes.
If Anthony could check, I usually try to send them back to Kathy, first of all, with a copy to Alice, and send it back to Antoinette with any or slight changes of order or recollection that was different. And I didn't see in traveling on my cell phone, which I've been doing unfortunately longer than I ever planned. I didn't see any, but I saw some that I think I did send back from this Singapore computer that I have in Sarasota. So if I haven't sent them to you, Antoinette, I apologize, but I think you have.
I don't have any edits back from you on February 7th, but they were sent out for sure, because I do have edits from Kathy, Alice, and also even Pat Cleary.
On February 7th.
February 7th. So maybe I think you did just say that they were good to go, Alan, on the February 7th.
Okay, because well, if so, then you got them. So thank you. Thank you.
February 22nd, I did send out as well, but I didn't get any edits back on that. I did, but from Kathy alone.
Can we adopt January 31st then?
I think we can adopt 31 in January 31st and February 7th. Does that sound right?
Yep.
Okay. Someone like to make a motion?
I'll move the approval by this board of the minutes for the January and February, the end of January and the first meeting of February.
January 31st and February 7th.
7th,
Approving
yeah, 31st and 7th.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay, and Ms. Claire, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ms. Bernstein, how do you vote?
Aye.
Mr. McFarland, how do you vote?
Aye.
Chair, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Mrs. Cowell, how do you vote?
Aye.
Right, just discussing minutes a little further, it's been brought to my attention that we are actually under a time limit to get these minutes approved. So as a group, we're going to have to up our game a little bit. I think it's, Alex, is it 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's what New
No,
York State has advised.
you have to make them available.
Oh, available.
Yeah, you're not required by law to approve minutes. It's a good practice, and certainly we should stay on top of it and try to do it within 2 weeks, but it's not required by law that they be approved. They need to be made publicly available and foilable.
Okay, all right, great. Thanks for clarifying that. Okay, that's the end of our agenda, unless anyone has anything they'd like to bring up. Oh, I have something I'd like to bring up, sorry. We have to, as a group, as a board, get on top of our training, our annual training hours. So I'll get in touch with each of you individually and figure out how best to handle that, but maybe it's 4 hours a year that's required, and we have to actually submit some sort of proof that we did training. So in the next couple of weeks, I'll reach out to everyone and make sure that we're moving forward with that for 2022. Okey doke.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Anything else?
But do we also want to say that our meetings will be changing in April?
Yeah, thanks. Can I address that?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
No
Please,
problem. Sure. So there's a note on your agenda. So the work session and public meetings are going to be combined, and so that the board will be able to take action on an application at any of its meetings. And they're also going to be spread out a little bit more to offer a little bit of more consistency and avoid any conflicts with the ARB, which also meets on Mondays that sometimes conflict. So if you look at the bottom of your agenda, there's a note about future meetings. So Monday, March 28th will be the regularly scheduled work session. And I believe that's one of the meetings that overlaps with the ARB. Monday, April 4th will be a regularly scheduled public hearing. And then I believe the next meeting is the 18th, which is the third Monday, will be on the new schedule. So that'll be a joint public work session / public meeting. So any action that are on the agenda, the board will be able to take action on them if they're ready. And then it'll continue with the first and third Mondays being combined meetings.
So the March 28th meeting, it's a work session, you said?
Yep, I believe that one is your normal scheduled work session.
And because of the overlap, do we want to keep that at 5 o'clock?
I think that's how it's currently scheduled right now. Let me just double check.
On here, it's
Oh,
5:30.
That's right.
I do see that. Let me just double check what we put together today. That one is the one on March 28th. Yeah, that may be a typo. I do see it on my calendar as 5 p.m. because I think that's how it's scheduled due to the conflict with the ARB.
Okay.
There may be a couple, we can address this later. I know that based on that schedule, one of the meetings falls out on July 4th. So we may want to look to see if that meeting needs, obviously, we wouldn't have the meeting that day if it needs to be rescheduled to another date or if it can be canceled. I believe
Okay.
another one falls on, I believe it's Labor Day as well, September 5th.
Those are the first Mondays of the month, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that in January we changed those dates already.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was before you were on board. So I'll have to go back in the minutes, but we already have alternate dates for those meetings.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good if you could provide that. I know those were normally scheduled meetings, so they haven't changed. So you have alternate dates. I'll take a look at that. Thank you.
Okay. And actually, I think we were waiting for confirmation that the room or the Zoom would be available. So we can there's time to deal with those 2 dates still.
Okay, great. Yeah, we'll make sure that it's not in conflict with any other meetings.
Okay. Good. Well, then if there isn't anything else, I think we can, I'd like to move to close the meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.